Are you feeling more optimistic, less optimistic, or the same about the Nuggets' chances against Oklahoma City based on the fact that they split? Knowing that if we said to you a month ago, hey, guess what? You're going to be in the second round, and it's going to be tied going into Game 5 against Oklahoma City. How do you feel about the Nuggets right now? More, less, same?
If you asked me at the end of April, I'd be excited. If you asked me May 9th or whatever the day was on Friday.
After the game?
Yeah, I'd feel a little less. But, it is what it is. I think you got a chance. Hey, three-game series, don't you like experience over youth? Except for the fatigue factor?
I would say if you stay zoomed out and you go back to the Clipper series. I heard Nate make a joke, a little witty joke that was kind of made sense at the time, but it was definitely taking a shot at like how little of a chance the Nuggets had. The Nuggets played so great against the Clippers. I see this series going 5 games now against Oklahoma City, right?
Snarky Nate.
Snarky Nate. It was funny, but it made sense.
Mm-hmm.
If you stay zoomed out, you're like, well, Nuggets are winning every other game. All right, not bad. I'll take our chances. You continue to win every other game, get there to Game 7. It just sucks because you felt like you had a really good chance to just put their backs against the wall. You had them, man. You had them in the fourth, right where you needed them to be.
What were your feelings about how things were going to go, despite everything? How terrible things had started, but going into the fourth quarter, the Nuggets had the lead. What did you think was going to happen?
I felt good because we did a halftime show. Come on down. Game 6.
Do I have to?
We just do a halftime show for the crowd.
Come on down to do what? Be in the crowd?
Yeah, just be in the crowd. Ask questions. I'll throw you a T-shirt.
Okay.
There's no camera, so.
Well, but we do video it, and they put it up on the screens, and they have screens. But anyway, whatever. I felt good at half because I don't think I could see a worse playing and shooting, and you're only down 5 at half.
No, but in the third, it felt amazing.
Boy,
when you got the energy, you got the crowd going, you went on a run. What'd you get up by? 7 or 8 points?
Going into the fourth, I went, boy, and I will say this. You've earned the right now to rest some of your starters to start the fourth. And that turned out to be a bad vibe.
For the record, did you really just seriously invite me to be in the crowd?
Yeah.
For the crowd-only halftime show that's not even on TV?
Yeah, well, you can come down.
I can't come up on the stage and yell at the crowd, too? You just want me to be in the crowd?
No, we have the celebrities.
Okay.
You come if we lose, and then you can come sit on the thing because there ain't no one else coming up there. I tell you what, the crowd after Friday's game, the crowd that we did the post-game show,
the hammered crowd,
on Friday.
How was that?
I bet it was 150, 200 people.
I bet they were in a good mood.
Good mood.
Yeah.
Yesterday's crowd after the game,
Mother's Day special.
About 32 people.
Okay.
Yeah. And they were nice.
I'm sure they were very polite because
although there was one Friday night crowd guy came up there
on Sunday afternoon.
And
there's a Friday night guy with the Mother's Day crowd.
Yeah, basically we started yelling at the set for why are we playing defense and opening up? The guy is drunk.
He's still recovering from Friday night.
Yeah, well, he may not have stopped.
How important is it for the Nuggets to win Game 5, or is there a bigger game to be played here? The 7 games sort of put pressure on the Thunder sort of deal.
Yeah, my opinion, it all comes down to Game 5 because I think the Nuggets are at a very fragile point emotionally and physically.
So
it's
47
a fragile point.
So Jokic 47 out of 48 minutes. Jamal, I'm sorry, you got to go. I don't care. I mean, that's like that.
I do think so. Yes, because in my opinion, having been on teams where you didn't expect to make it as far as you did. And all of a sudden you're there. You're like, well, that was fun, man. We went on a really good run.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, but we really weren't supposed to make it this far anyways. We did just have our coach fired. We did just have our GM fired. I am really tired. My name's Nikola Jokic, and I'm exhausted. And I went 0 for 10 from the three-point line. And
won the game.
And won the game. I got you. That one. This team, in my opinion, is at a very fragile point where they're looking for affirmation in one direction or another. And if you get that mental affirmation going in the right direction, I think you win game 5, you win the series. You lose game 5, you probably have reached the point of no return mentally.
I think you got to send a message that you still believe that you can. And you may lose game 5, but it's how you play in game 5.
So exhausted,
but
if
you play game 5 like you did game 2, then what are you saying? You're gonna have to win.
You're saying game 6, game 5 doesn't really matter that much.
No, I'm just saying.
What you're saying is we're gonna sell out in game 6, not game 5.
No,
and we're gonna go.
I'm saying that's your different choice. I'm saying if you come out and say we're gonna play, and even if you lose this game, then you're putting a seed of doubt in them for game 6. You win game 6. And now they're going, phew, we got lucky in game 5. And to me, the pressure's always on home teams in game 7.
All right, let me boil it down. Would you, in game 5, based on rest, all this, would you, if you're Adelman, play Pickett, get DJ in there, extend the minutes for Peyton Watson, stuff like that? Or would you?
I would try to get my bench and try to keep them fired up.
In game 5, you would.
I would spend the next 48 hours or till game 5 starts really trying to pump up my bench and really try to get them going and say, hey, you're ready.
Tyler?
It'd be really nice if you have that luxury, but if I don't have that luxury, then no, I'm not going to do it.
Live by the sword, die by the sword.
Yeah.
This is what got us here. Either we're going to succeed or fail with this.
Yeah. And I think the whole conversation, and look, maybe it's not fair for me to speak on it. I never played in a 7-game series. Okay. I just think the conversation about exhaustion is relative, and I don't know what a couple minutes here and there really does in the big picture of exhaustion.
Well, they got these things dialed down, these things, players, athletes, every sport now.
Oh, we're just cattle. We're sheep. You can call us things.
They got the cattle dialed in as far as how much rest is and what it is good and what the recovery time, the better the shape you are in the recovery time, and you've got to know those numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're having people on your staff that are in charge of them numbers, if you're not relying on them, why are they on your staff?
Okay.
So I think you gotta be dialed into that, especially early in the game, to try to save as much as what you can. Like I said, I think game 5 comes down to making sure it's a fourth quarter game.
All right,
I guess I'm old school, man. And when it comes down to do or die time, I throw all that nonsense out the window. I'm not saying it's nonsense. It's not nonsense. But science kind of goes out the window when it's do or die time.
All right, but the question is, when is it do or die time, I guess?
Yeah, in my opinion, it's game 5.
Okay.
Yeah, my opinion is when it's elimination.
All right, let me point out something else that's just a little different. For the first time in this series, and the first time for the Nuggets in a month, they will have 2 days off. Maybe not quite a month, but in a long time for the Nuggets. They will have 2 days off if you can get to game 7. That is true. That does exist in this format.
That's cool. I got to get there.
You got to get there. But then it goes to, like, how much do you sell out? Knowing you have more rest between game 6 and game 7, knowing game 5 is not an elimination game.
Why would I want to put myself in a position of literal do or die? Now, I'm making it a figurative do or die in game 5, but why would I want to be in a position where I'm saving myself for a most literal do or die in game 6 just to get to game 7 for 2 days off?
Sometimes you got to lose a battle to win a war. And like I said, you got to strategize. You got to use all the science that you have in front of you, analytics that you have in front of you, whatever it is. Otherwise, why do you have them? Why are you paying them?
Yeah.
And I'm with you. Let's go old school. I'm okay. Hey, toughen up. You're going to play a lot of minutes. Buckle up. Let's go. But if you're going to have them, why are they there? You got to use them. And I'm telling you, you got to play game 5 to get to the fourth quarter and be a game. And if you can play this game to get to fourth quarter to be in the game, I think all the pressure goes on Oklahoma City. You keep, boom, you're there like you did in game 1, like you did in game 3 or whatever it is, and you're there, and then all of a sudden they're going, dude, we can't lose this game. We got to go back to Denver tomorrow. We can't lose this game.
Put the pressure on them.
Yeah, but the only way you put the pressure on them is it's got to be a fourth quarter game.
Okay. Well, it'll be fascinating what they come up with. We'll have the game for you tomorrow night.
Like I said, you lose a battle in the first half, but you to give yourself a chance to win the war by the end of the game.
Well,
Sounds good, doesn't it?
I'd play a little DJ. I'd play a little Pickett. Okay. I'd be okay doing that in Game 5, even if you lose.
I'd play Strother even if you had to, and I would say to him,
Green light, shoot,
I
buddy.
would have a long talk with him and said, you got to quit being a kid.
Yeah, let's go.
Listen, you're a first-round draft pick and a guy that we think is going to be here for a long time. You got to grow up right now.
You're in this game for a reason. Don't be shy about it.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. And shoot. He is so tentative out there. He doesn't want to make a mistake. He's scared to shoot.
And I will tell you this as an offensive line. When you're afraid to make a mistake, what do you always do?
Yep. Bad things happen.
Bad things happen.
Yeah, I mean, but you got to free them up a little bit. You got to tell them, hey, man, it's okay. And listen, I understand the importance of Game 5. I do. But right now, there has to be some confidence that you build with your bench, or you're just, I get
Strother.
You're dead. You're dead. You're dead either way.
I get Strother and Pickett, and I talk with them privately together. I said, we're going to play you tomorrow or today, whenever you have the conversation. I ain't going to bench you for missing a shot. I'm going to bench you if you play scared.
Right.
Right? I'm going to give you chances tonight. You ain't coming out if you miss a shot. You're going to come out if you play scared. Fair? And I'd get them to buy into it. I think it's a great motivational time for David.